Welcome to the Entrepreneur Podcast, where we take a look inside the lives of the accomplished and successful businessmen and women. We'll get up close and personal with the founders of booming startups. So lean in and prepare to carry away something to skyrocket your own business. Please subscribe to our show and do leave us a review. It means a lot to us. Now, here's your host, Rajiv.
Hey listeners, welcome to the Entrepreneur Talk Show. I'm your host Rajiv Unikrishnan, and this is the show where we talk about entrepreneurship and speak to great founders, entrepreneurs and investors. Today I have with us Varun Sarda, founder and CEO at WTFares. Welcome Varun.
Hi Rajiv, thank you for having me on the show.
All right. Just a brief intro. WTFares is an online travel agency which is a consolidator of flights, hotels and holidays. They buy from a variety of suppliers online and offline, which enables them to compete with the prevailing OTAs in the market today. A brief on Varun. He spends his time in Nagpur and is a Bits Pilani Dubai alumni. He started his first business in college at 19, selling t-shirts. He also started the Ilike Times, a student tabloid, which was the first of its kind out of Pune. He took over his father's business shortly, and in 2 years, he doubled the size of the business, and which leads him to the current business, which is WTFares. Again, Varun, welcome to the show. Do fill in the gaps, if any, in the intro, and do let us know what's going on in your world today.
Right, absolutely, Rajiv. So yeah, I think the intro sums up pretty much what I have done so far, and basically I'll just fill you in whenever.
All right, great. Before we start about the business, I always ask my founder, any passions out her work?
So of course, I love traveling a lot, and I've been always been very inquisitive to meet new kind of people and see different world outside your comfort zone. So yeah, travel is one of the biggest passion. However, that does not lead me to justify that yes, this is why I started this business now. So, but yes, travel is definitely one of the biggest
All right,
passions that
great.
I have.
So, of course, coming to the inevitable question is, what inspired the idea for WT Fairs?
So I have always been, I've always had a business mind frame, and I've always wanted to create or build things, do whatever I could, just, but it has to be of my own. The belonging that I had towards any idea for that matter, but it has to come out of me. So there was this one incident that happened a long time back, which was 2012 at that moment, and online travel agencies were booming. And I just booked a normal trip with my dad to an exhibition center in Delhi, and that was through one of the online travel agencies.
Correct.
And what happened was the hotel never existed. So, I mean, we went over there, looked up to the address, and the security guard tells us that the hotel shut down long back. What are you even doing here? So, fine. I mean, I do understand that inventories get messed up or you don't get upbeat information.
Correct.
So, that is the point of time I contacted their call center, and that is where the horror started. It took me literally 16 to 18 hours to fix and get me a suitable replacement. Those guys just couldn't solve anything, from one manager to another, from one service agent to another service agent. They kept on dragging me, and I was there for work, man. I mean, me and my father, we went there for work and we had no place to stay. So that is when it hit me, and they had this money back guarantee. You know what, like, whatever you see online, if you don't see whatever, however, the pictures are portrayed, we'll give you full money back. And here though the hotel was not there. So obviously, I claimed my refund. I put them an email, and it was a shock. Like a list of lines that we have compensated you as much as we could have. We have given you suitable replacement, which was not suitable. It was a guest lodge, and I believe if you have anything, just contact us further. That is the moment when I was pissed and I took it online, and I realized that if everything is good until there's a problem.
Correct.
And a
Absolutely.
lot of people faced problem with big companies. So I decided that, you know what, e-commerce is growing. Let's get out there and just give good service to people. Let's be online and give good service. I knew nothing honestly about any of the business at that point of time.
Okay. Okay. So,
That was the trigger for me.
and what would the vision be for the company?
So it has always been to create happy customers. however it is, whatever service you do, just make sure that you know what, you have people telling you that, boss, I bought from your website, and I was very very satisfied with the kind of service I got.
Correct. Great. So when you thought of the idea, was it only you or you have any co-founders who took this idea and made it a reality?
So the idea was always mine. I was very, very driven, and I was like, I wanted to take them head on, basically. And so I pitched into my friends from college, Bhaskar and Gunjan, and they were instantly on board. They never hesitated even for a moment, and they just liked it, and they invested in the company,
Hmm.
and we were all on board together. But they're all part time. I am the only one who is doing it full time,
All right.
and yeah, I have their strategic support from time to time.
Great. So when you thought of the idea, I mean, how did you validate the idea? Did you have any MVP or did you just take it straight away live?
So when I first became a travel agent to understand how travel industry works, and that was one of the toughest point of time because everyone was hating me because I was doing something that is probably looked down upon. You
Yeah.
know how in people around you think, and plus my dad's got a very good manufacturing plant, so everyone was like, "What are you doing? How are you stupid to get into a space? And
Correct.
what a shallow work are you doing?" So my point was like, whatever you're doing, it is exciting. I found the work very interesting to plan journeys for people, to find out good fares, to use multiple sources, use multiple
Hmm.
websites, understand how the industry works. And that was really, really low for me because a lot of people were constantly nagging me, like, what are you doing? Don't do it. What are you doing? Don't do it. It is such a filthy work, if I could put.
Yeah, correct.
So, so the more I got into it, the more I realized that how viable we can be in this market. It was 2012, and the airline commissions, hotel industry, they were at their, they were at their highest point.
Okay.
The commissions were so high, and yet the online services or travel agents were charging a hefty fee, 250 rupees per ticket, 500 rupees for an international ticket, something like that, despite getting 25 cuts,
Yeah.
from the respective airlines. And we just made a product immediately without any further delay. We launched it online, thought that it will just create the biggest noise on planet, and it did not, despite giving such good fares.
Correct.
So yeah, so we built the basic product with the single biggest differentiator, that was convenience fee model, that we
Okay.
will not ever charge convenience fee on any of the flights.
Okay. Got it. Got it. So, I mean, how does the product work? I mean, is it a pure play like a normal, like all the other travel sites in terms of at least the product working?
So yes, right now it is just a booking engine in terms of flight, hotels, and holiday packages. Just any other OTA would do. We have a lot of APIs, the airline APIs connected into our system, and we showcase results out of that. So that is how WD Fares is working right now,
Okay.
and we differentiate in terms of our cancellation policies and convenience fee.
Correct. So I also see obviously that I mean that's a big USP. You have a free cancellation. So how do you afford the free cancellation?
So, as days passed, I mean, from zero convenience fee to we started, charging convenience fee to our customers because the industry shifted from a commission model to a servicing model, and the airline stopped giving us commission, and we had to go back on our words of saying that, oh, we are a no convenience fee website. We are the only ones in the industry to do so. Uh, so that is the point of time we started charging a very small convenience fee based on percentages.
Hmm.
So we have WTFares has always charged on percentages. That is 2%. So how do we work is you book any flight on our website. If it is say for even 1 lakh, I'll always take 2% from you. And others, they charge you per customer per way basis. So 250 rupees per person per way. That's how all the other majority of the OTAs work. And that is how we were still cheaper than most of the websites.
Okay, great.
So that was the time when we realized that even this is not enough because these guys are spending heavy on ads, heavy on
Yes,
cashback, Citibank
absolutely.
credit
Yeah.
cards. It was ridiculous to I'm just making a statement here that I find these all these nonsense basically. I mean, all of the offers that these guys put up, and I think you are just ruining a market. And not only you're ruining a market, you're ruining your customer also, who is not going to come back, because you're destroying loyalty. You're destroying the definition of loyalty by creating such products or such an environment that the customer comes to you seeking for some kind of discount. So at WTFares, I have been always of the opinion that whatever it is, whatever offers that I have, I'll put blatantly out there. Take it basically. No fancy cashbacks, nothing. We don't ever promote any promo code on any of our website or any of our services. It is always kept so low that customers should be delighted that whatever happens, WTFares is always going to give me a best fare, unless otherwise
Of
an
course, of
OTA is
course.
ready to take that loss.
Okay.
So even that was not enough. Again, I
Mhm.
mean, I thought that this is going to create a lot of noise. We did very well, in the initial few years, and even then there was something that was hurting, and we were not able to understand why is it that we are not popular. And so we sat together. I mean, me, Bhaskar, Gunjan, and also my brother, and we discussed this, and we realized the biggest pain today is the cancellation fee. Imagine an airfare which is for 3,000 rupees. The airline blatantly tells you that it is 2,250 plus whatever our charges and
Correct.
plus convenience fee. I'm not going to give it back to you.
Correct.
So a customer is left with literally nothing, right? So we thought that let us handle this. Let us see in a way that we can, solve this problem. And the instant answer to that was, obviously we cannot go to each and every airlines and ask them, can you help us out? Or what, I can give you this much of deposit or this much of premium.
Hmm.
So we thought let us be that premium people and take premium, collect premium from customers and make their life easier.
That's true.
So then we drill down to DGCA data and we drill down to our booking data, which was 20,000 big. And we saw in the past 3 years, we had cancellations to the percentage of just 7%.
Oh, lovely.
And however, our data is not national. So we also refer to DGCA's data, which is around 12%. So we thought, fine, let us assume that all the cancellations happen at 25%. Okay.
Hmm.
And we did the math. Let us assume a fare of 4,000 rupees. So we thought, let us collect premium, which is to the tune of 10%, which is
Yep.
just 400 bucks.
Yep.
And let us assume that out of 5 tickets, every one ticket will get cancelled. So if 4 people fly,
Yep.
we make that extra 2,000 and we
Correct.
give it back to this customer.
Okay,
At
got
the
it.
same time,
Hmm.
when we are giving it back to the customer,
Yep.
we are also asking him to come back and use it on our website, because it's a monopoly product. And I think that since we're giving you so much back, let us have it back again on our website and use that coupon,
Hmm.
which has no restriction. Just use it however you like.
So the cashback
So
you offer via the website, right?
absolutely. So
Okay.
this
Okay.
this refund of a 4,000 fare approximately comes out at 3,600. You
Hmm.
can use this on our website on any of the products and services. No
Okay.
questions asked.
Okay. So in terms of growth and outlook, I mean, I'm looking at the data you sent. It's around, you're doing around 80 to 90 lakhs INR a month, and
Right.
you're growing because of the free cancellation. You're growing at around, actually, you got 400% plus more visitors, new visitors on the website. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, so it's going good. Are you above your targets?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we knew that this was the game changer,
Hmm.
and we were damn scared. We were scared to the core that we lose a lot of money
Hmm.
by doing this.
Yeah.
So we launched this in August, and I was just making sure that nobody does it, even though this offer was right out. I was hoping that people don't, use our product. In fact, use a promo code and get rid of the convenience fee. That's how I was marketing it, and that's what I thought.
Okay.
So from August until October last month, we had about 100 cancellations. Okay, and we had close to 1,200 to 1,300 bookings in these 2 months.
Okay.
And we did the entire summary of how many refunds we have passed and how much money we eventually made and how much the premium was collected. And we did very well. In fact, we ended up with a profit of 10%. So turns out that this actually works, and we decided to continue this. So the
Okay.
more and more this is getting out in the market, that we are the only website who is doing so, and people just trust you, in general, because you are
Correct.
really making things a lot easier for a lot of people.
Correct.
So we've seen 400% rise. I mean, we had last month I think until July we had visitors to the tune of 9,000, and immediately in the month of August it rose by 15 and another 15%, and we saw a sudden jump in November to 400%. Now we have 16,000 visitors, and it is just phenomenal. And the number of bookings have also increased by 35%.
Okay. So you also have a app on the Play Store, and you've done around 500 plus downloads. So that's good. When are you planning to launch
Right.
iOS?
So very soon, in fact, it is in the development
Okay.
stage, and since we are not funded, it gets invariably, it gets delayed a lot of times.
Absolutely.
But it is going to be out next month, I hope.
All right. So in terms of revenue model, you're making a very small percentage per ticket, right? I mean, that's the pure play revenue,
That is
right?
true.
Okay.
That is true. Yes.
And of course, now looking at competition, we have hundreds of travel sites in India. But your pure USP would be free cancellation?
Absolutely. And the free cancellation tax gives us a lot of goodwill in the market. Like, you know what? Look at what these guys have done. Like, there are so many OTAs and no one ever thought. And look at what these guys have achieved. So the general word of mouth that I keep on hearing, there are so many people thanking us, basically
That's damn
calling us
good.
and
Yeah.
thanking us.
Yeah.
Thank you for the refund. You know
Yeah.
what? You just saved. You gave me 1,500 rupees back out of a 1,900 fare. I don't know what other website would have done to this money. They would have never ever
Of
given me
course,
anything
they would
back.
have cited taxes, etc.,
And
and taken.
exactly,
Yeah.
they so interesting thing to know here is that even the non-refundable fares are fully refundable
Oh, I didn't know
to
that.
the taxes point of view. To the
Okay.
taxes point of
Correct.
view.
Correct. Correct.
So a lot of OTAs they just cite non-refundable, no refund. It is only when you email them or take a case that you know what, I know you got taxes back, kindly refund. Only then they give it back to you.
Got it.
So a lot of people are frequent traveler. They do not have the time, neither the hour to take up each and every refund case, and they think that it is the standard industry practice, which is
Hmm.
not. And we have tried to be very very open about this entire cancellations and refunds and non-refundable fares. We always give the money back.
Okay. Okay. So of course you're making a good amount of revenue and you're bootstrapped now. I think your revenue is running the
Right.
business. Are you planning to get on the road soon for funding?
I am not. I mean, we are not at all certain on this, on
Okay.
how well are we going to be with the investors, because we keep hearing a lot of stories.
Of course. Of
However, that
course.
said, I'm not. I do not have a lot of. I don't have a mind block as such, but yes, I would love to have a mentor and an investor on board who can guide us through a process, because I'm the only one who's handling this. The others are in a strategic
Correct.
position,
Correct. Correct.
but I do want some fundamental guiding path that what, this is what you should do next, or what, have a developer do whatever you want to do on the website, and this way try your luck
Correct.
out,
Correct.
because
Correct.
I've done whatever I've done out of my own money, and I've been extremely not successful, but I've done fairly good. 80% of the time I was right whenever the spending money part was concerned.
Mm-hmm,
So if someone just doubles it, I will do a lot better, I believe.
okay. What are the key challenges you faced, or like being a travel startup, do you face or have faced in India?
So the obviously are the biggest challenge is the giants that are sitting there. They are just stealing and copying.
Okay.
Whatever they're doing, they're just ruining everything for you, man. 4,000 rupees tickets, they're offering cashbacks of 1,000, 1,500, 2,000.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Of a international ticket, there is 10,000, 20,000. What sort of gimmick is going on? They're undercutting the selling price also. Like, I remember there was this guy who told me that he booked an hotel on some OTA,
Yeah.
and he said, I paid 1,500 bucks for a 5-star property, man. I was like, are you serious? He said, yeah. And he was there. He's a very good friend of mine. And I told him to call up the reception and ask him how much did the OTA pay to him. And he said they paid 4,500 is the billable.
Oh
So
God.
imagine 3,000 rupees they've lost on one customer. How much ever deep pockets, man, you're not making a sustainable business.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought. I'm never going to do this. I've been contacted by so many banks that push this offer, push that offer. Let us do 50-50, let us do 20-20, by wallets, by gateways, so many people. And I've always said, no, boss, this is going to drive only temporary traffic and not a permanent one. So I'm not willing to get into any of these kind of tricks
Okay.
because it is wrong
Okay.
eventually. And in the long run, it works. I mean, you developed a service and a product with a sustainable business, right? You should make money at the end of the day.
Of course, very true.
And
So
they think they can just buy everyone.
that's true. I think they're just cooking the books finally, right, to show the investors.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. That is how it is going.
So moving out of business, Varun. So who influenced you most in life?
So it has to be like my parents. Both of them are business persons, and I've been seeing them in and out. My dad got kicked out of the family when he was very young,
Okay.
24, and he had to do everything on his own. So plus two kids and their education and everything. And he was from a very rich family. So seeing him grow from, he has three folds of business now with three factories, and he does fairly well. Obviously, there is some stagnancy, which comes with age, I believe.
Of course.
But he has been very, and my mother carrying a baby, or my younger brother, and I was just four back then, and she looked after us, and even the business that my dad was going through. They have been the biggest influences, honestly.
All right. And what is some of the best advice you've been given over time?
Some of them.
Best advice you've been given over time.
Uh, yeah, it is. I mean, not. I was watching this movie called "We Bought a Zoo,"
Hmm.
and there's a very famous quote. I don't know if they've taken it from somewhere or I don't know how, but this one thing has definitely changed a lot of things in my general way of looking things.
Hmm.
And it is the quote is such that sometimes all you need is 20 seconds of insane courage, just literally 20 seconds of embarrassing bravery, and I promise you something great will come out of it. And this single statement has changed a lot of things. You know what? I go to the airport if I'm flying. I hesitate to talk to people. So why not? When I have a startup, I have a travel startup in which, and everyone is a potential customer. Why not talk to each one of them? So it does trigger the need in me to hand out a few business cards, just ask a few people, how are you booking? What are you
Yeah, yeah,
doing?
correct.
So this is just a small example of this courage that I never had. So whenever I keep forgetting that, whenever I feel that there is a need for a ballsy move, I do remember this
All right.
one advice.
Great. So
Hey,
what?
you know what? Nothing is going to happen. Just do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when did you know that you were meant for entrepreneurship? Obviously, you're from an entrepreneurial background, but when did you know like you were meant for entrepreneurship and not a job?
So, I mean, as far as I remember, I have uh, of always been of the opinion of I've always been thinking about creating things, something to do with creation. I remember I was four, and I used to tell my mom that, mom, I'm going to make a car which you don't have to even navigate. You just have to type a location and it will navigate on its own. And this was 1992 back then.
Okay.
So this is I remember a little bit, and I was fascinated by the ideas which were never even born. I didn't even know if there was a computer. I just heard randomly my mom talking about a computer, and I thought the computer can do these things also. And so I always thought that I'm going to create something. I'm going to create a valuable product, be it anything.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that is how I've always done something that has created value.
Okay. And has there been any low point in your career till now where you just want to completely give up?
Yeah, there has been. So there was a time when I was, handling my dad's business, and it's a standard paper printing business. And there was this one government tender that we took. I forced my dad into it, and it had a huge advertising revenue.
Okay.
Those electricity bills which have
Correct. Correct.
advertisement printed. So my dad never tried it, and I did Ilike Times, right, in Pune, and I told him, Dad, I'll do it. You just undercoat it and we'll take it. I did my research, of course. I thought I could pull it off. So that one space was for 30 lakhs rupees a month, and we took the contract for 6 months. So if I had not gotten those 30 lakhs into six, which is 1.8 crores,
Correct.
we would have gone downhill or whatever. And my dad just believed in whatever nonsense I was talking before. that happens. No, I'm 22 and I can do anything, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he just believed in me, and we took that contract. So the contract was supposed to start 3 months later, and I went to Bombay. I shifted to Bombay, and I tried meeting a lot of people, and there was all the doors pointed towards no. Like, oh no, the time is not right. Oh no, very good medium, but not right now. 30 lakhs is a huge amount. How will my HO ever pass? Something to that effect. And when previous people have done it, so I there was a time we had to stop. We had to start printing in another 15-20 days,
Correct.
and I had hit rock bottom. I mean, I had just given all hopes until I landed into SBI's head office and spoke to the PR guy who gave us a good long-term 3 months contract of 90 lakhs, and it changed everything.
Great.
I mean, I thought, boss, if I've done this, I can do anything in the world. I
Correct.
saved 1.8 crores of loss.
Correct. That's great. So, I mean, what is something that's getting you and the team excited? Anything at present? Any new feature coming out or any new launch coming up?
So right now we just have the iOS which is going to come out, and we are looking at small developments to be made onto the website. The developments are of huge cost. Since we are not funded, we cannot take irrational decisions right now. But we're doing in small steps, and we are really excited about the launch and a new integration that we are going to do online in one of the meta searches, like a Skyscanner or
Okay.
Sigo, perhaps.
Okay, got it.
So focused on that.
Okay, so where do you see yourself and your business, let's say, in the next 2 to 3 years?
So next 2 to 3 years, I mean, I've always wanted the WTFares.com to be one of the most uh, happy travel startups and created happy flyers all around. And I do see, sometimes, I mean, I do feel that we are no short of 10 times of what we are right now. Given that everything goes well, I do want to see myself grow 10 times at least in
Great.
another 2 years.
All the best with that. So now we come to a part of the show which is a quick fire round, simple, brief answers. Okay. So
Right.
when people ask you what do you do, how do you answer that?
So I have a lot of travel startups, and you're definitely going to save money if you are booking through us.
Okay. When you think of the word successful, who is the first person that comes to mind?
So it has got to be Ratan Tata. I've always idolized him, followed him through and
Okay.
through. I think he's the one.
Okay. And what do you excel at that people might not realize?
So I have this amazing power, I think, to treat money as secondary. I don't know how many people can do it, but for me, money is nothing. I can just keep it aside and focus on whatever I want to.
Okay. And what's Varun's greatest weakness?
Greatest weakness.
Yep.
I am too lazy. I believe I'm just too lazy.
Okay. M-commerce or e-commerce?
Oh, that is very tough. I think e-commerce.
Okay. And your favorite city globally?
It has got to be Dubai.
Oh, great. And finally, Varun, any last thought or piece of advice for our listeners?
So I think a lot of people. I've seen so many people who are probably cribbing about their lifestyles or whatever is happening in their work, and they are so passionate to do something, but they have something or the other in life that is stopping them. And I just want to tell them that, you know what, just quit everything and do what you're destined to do, because you were not made to do a job, or you were not made to do some what someone else is, thinking about. So perseverance will pay off, follow your heart, and you will make money. So it is going to happen.
Great. Again, please let us listeners know how they can reach you and also WT Fairs.
Right. So obviously wfares.com is all online, and we do offer a promo code for normal bookings. It is not a promo code, but it is a promo code for normal booking,
Okay.
which is WTFNOCON, which you can use and take great discounts on airfares. So if you're flying this, we are going to definitely save money for you.
Okay. And you do international also?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a complete
Oh,
domestic
great,
international book.
Again, Varun, thanks for taking the time to talk to us and
Thank you, Rajiv.
inspiring our listeners to start their own ventures, and all the very best at building and scaling WT Fairs.
Thank you, and to you too. It has been a pleasure.
Great. Do visit WTFares.com and visit us at the AsianEntrepreneur.com to get the show notes. And please subscribe to our show on all the platforms and leave a review on your thoughts about this show. Thank you.
Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. In the meantime, head over to theasianentrepreneur.com and check out show notes and other information to motivate you in your entrepreneurial endeavors.